leftist bitch. Shocked a little bit? Can't I even wait until the body's cold? No. And also, no, calling her what she is the week after her death is not, quote, just the same as those people who made fun of Charlie Kirk's murder. No, it's not. And everyone knows that. Miss Goodall recorded a final video to be played from beyond the grave. She filmed this earlier this year in 2025, May, I believe. She naturally assumed that everyone would need to hear her final legacy message, so let's listen to some of it.
Do you have people that you don't like?
Absolutely, there are people I don't like. And I would like to put them on one of Musk's spaceships and send them all off to the planet he's sure he's going to discover.
Would he be one of them?
Oh, absolutely. He'd be the host. And you can imagine who I'd put on that spaceship.
Who?
Along with Musk would be Trump and some of Trump's real supporters. And then I would put Putin in there. And I would put President Xi. I'd certainly put Netanyahu in there and his far-right government. Put them all on that spaceship and send them off.
Do you have...
Put them all on that spaceship and send them off. Benjamin Netanyahu with his far-right government. This sounds normal to her. This kind of what she's saying, she thinks this is normal. And it probably sounds normative to a lot of you, but it isn't. This kind of political public discourse is not normal. It was never normal until recently. It's extreme. I mean, no, she's not out there directly calling for murder. I'm not claiming that she's doing that. But it's just, we have to get unused to this. There need to be things that people of goodwill, people of reasonable disposition, even if they disagree with each other, need to stop acting as if it's normal to characterize their opponents or their intellectual adversaries as so subhuman that they deserve to be killed or blasted into space, and then give a little giggle after it like it was cute. Let's keep going with Jane Goodall. Let's listen to the rest of that.
No. I look back over my life. I look back at the world I've left behind. What message do I want to leave? I want to make sure that you all understand that each and every one of you has a role to play. You may not know it, you may not find it, but your life matters, and you are here for a reason. And I just hope that that reason will become apparent as you live through your life. I want you to know that whether or not you find that role that you're supposed to play, your life does matter, and that every single day you live, you make a difference in the world. And you get to choose the difference that you make. I want you to understand that we are part of the natural world. And even today, where the planet is dark, there still is hope. Don't lose hope. If you lose hope, you become apathetic and do nothing. Above all, I want you to think about the fact that we are part, when we're on planet Earth, we are part of Mother Nature. We depend on Mother Nature for clean air, for water, for food, for clothing, for everything. And as we destroy one ecosystem after another, as we create worse climate change, worse loss of diversity, we have to do everything in our power to make the world a better place for the children alive today and for those that will follow. You have it in your power to make a difference. Don't give up. There is a future for you. Do your best while you're still on this beautiful planet Earth that I look down upon from where I am now.
that I look down upon from where I am now. She's very confident that she's not looking up from where she is now, isn't she? No, I don't think Jane Goodall is burning in hell. But really, it's a tell. So we have to do everything in our power to make the world a better place, she says. Everything, including death to politicians that you don't like and that you falsely claim are fascists, when they're not. Everything will include slashing the population and preventing births to wipe out the majority of humanity to get to your dream of having only 500 million people. When Miss Goodall, what she means when she says we have to do everything in our power, she won't say it directly, but what she means is by any means necessary. She's a Malthusian, too. And she wants most of the planet's population gone. Can we put that graphic up, please? Wide Awake Media noted, speaking at the World Economic Forum, that's Klaus Schwab's outfit, the late Jane Goodall suggests the world would be a much better place if the human population were reduced to the level of 500 years ago, roughly 500 million people, a 93% reduction from today's population. And here's a good example of the common person online who's taken in by women like Jane Goodall, because of course I had to say something about this on Twitter. And I wrote, similar to what I said to you, she may have been a great primatologist, but it's no surprise that she was a nasty, censorious, mean leftist bitch. And I also said this: leftist women have psychologically substituted the earth, the environment, or the animals for the children they either don't have or that they refuse to mother. That's why they're so angry to the point of wanting violence against their opponents. They experience what they call assault on the earth as violence against mommy, violence against me. It's a psychological substitution. Once you see that, so many of these activist women, their motivations become clear. So this is what I got back from somebody named Stuart Hayes. He says, a personal attack because you don't agree with her political views, really mature behavior, said no one. And I responded, nope, I know what you're doing and so do you. It won't work. Have a nice evening. He responds, what is it you think I'm doing? Just making a comment on how immature it is to attack a person because you disagree with their political views. People are allowed to hold different views to yours, and it doesn't make them a bad person. Also, it's morning where I am, so good morning. I said, it's interesting that you're not moved to apply that to Ms. Goodall, who would like to put people who disagree with her on a spaceship on a one-way trip. It's not actually interesting. It's very typical of those on the left. You know this. You're just angry that other people notice it. Good evening. Stuart replied, naturally. I'm working really hard not to put a voice on this. She wants to put them on a spaceship because she sees that their actions are harming the earth. That's very different to not liking their politics because you've given them the title, the left. Also, please stop telling me what I know. You have absolutely no idea what I know. And I just said, you sound frustrated. All right. Jane Goodall was Gorgon number one because tonight we are talking about being in the age of the Gorgon. Gorgon number two is Katie Porter, California gubernatorial candidate. Katie Porter is a former U.S. representative on the Democrat side from California. She's now running for governor against Gruesome Newsom. She doesn't appear to have very effective counsel on her campaign team. Here's what would have been a local television interview for that campaign this past week.
You say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election? Yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
But you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't think
I feel
you
like
need
this
them
is
to win.
unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
Correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care.
Follow-ups.
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And
Porter,
we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never had to do
reporter.
this before, ever.
You've never had to have a conversation with
to end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So I am going to make...
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you, and I don't want this all on camera.
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you either. I would love to continue to ask these questions so that we can show our viewers what every candidate feels about every one of these issues that they care about. And redistricting is a massive issue. We're going to do an entire story just on the responses to that question. And I've asked everybody the same follow-up questions.
What do you...
Well, I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you. That's a threat. She's threatening to go nuclear if the reporter doesn't obey her. Tell you something. The TV crew at that news station and Katie Porter's own staff hate her. How do I know this? That can you bring back the first frame of that last video, Kevin, to show people the setup in that studio? Yeah, that frame. Can you put that back on the screen? Look at that top light, audience members. They have lit her with only a single direct overhead light. That shows every bag, every sag, and every flaw, and it's on purpose. No one on television is lit like that unless it's a prison interrogation scene or a villain scene in a movie. This is not, of course, the first time we've heard or seen this behavior from Katie Porter. The woman has form. And like for most women of her kind, she gets away with it because she is a woman. This next one comes from Colin Rugg on Twitter. In 2021, Katie Porter was on a Zoom call with then Michigan Governor Jennifer Granholm, talking up electric cars, how great they are, how her Chevy Volt was the best car she ever had because she never has to go to the gas station. All she has to do is plug it in. Just have to plug it in. Let's roll that tape, please, Kevin.
Gas station.
That's awesome. And $632 is real money. And I know here at UCI, we have a National Fuel Center Research Center, and they're also doing work on how to make electric vehicles affordable, including for low and moderate income people, working moms, single moms like me, people who really could benefit from an extra $632 in their pocket. And it's also not just the individual savings, but it's also the total savings for our economy. So I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems. And the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm going to start again with electric vehicles saving us money.
Do you notice that she's wearing the same unflattering sleeveless dress 4 years ago that she was in this interview from this week? But actually, the color's actually good on her. That is a good color for her, but the cut is not. Remember how she treated her staff a couple years ago, accusing one of her staff members of giving her COVID? I'm going to refresh you. I don't have this. I'm not going to put this on the screen. I'm just going to read to you some of the text exchanges between Katie Porter and her staff. Katie Porter: why did you not follow office protocol on testing? She means testing for COVID. It's really disappointing. Staffer: I'm terribly sorry. You're right. I should have done better. Just because I felt okay in the moment doesn't mean that I was. Katie Porter: Sasha, I cannot allow you back in the office given your failure to follow office policies. Cody will be in touch about having your personal effects shipped or delivered to your home, and will lay out your remote work schedule and responsibilities for your last few weeks. Sasha, the staffer, responds: I understand. Thank you for the last 2 years and all that I have learned. I hate to have disappointed you in this manner. As I know it isn't an excuse, I had found out my friend from the Navy had been murdered and my head was not in the best place. Not an excuse, but the reasoning for the lack of forethought. I appreciate everything that this office has done for me. Katie Porter responds: well, you gave me COVID. In 25 months, it took you not following the rules to get me sick. My children have no one to care for them. What a cunt. And there are earlier allegations by Katie Porter's ex-husband that look like this. New York Post: Representative Katie Porter scalded ex-husband's scalp with potatoes, documents. The former husband of Representative Katie Porter said the California Democrat frequently abused him verbally and threw, quote, toys, books, and other objects at him during their marriage, even pouring scalding hot mashed potatoes on his head during a fight, according to divorce records. Matthew Hoffman, who filed for divorce from Porter in 2013, said in a request for a restraining order dated April 30th of that year that he was routinely called a fucking idiot and fucking incompetent by his rage-prone spouse, who also shattered a glass coffee pot on their kitchen counter in March 2012 when she felt their house wasn't clean enough. You know what that is? That's more Annie Wilkes stuff. See what you made me do? She wouldn't have had to dump the potatoes on you if you weren't such a cock-a-doodie bird, dirty birdie. Next up, Gorgon number 3, Amy Klobuchar, U.S. Senator from Minnesota and one-time presidential hopeful. Just look at the screen. All right. This stuff is from an article in The Federalist. First quote. Just a few days after she announced her ill-fated campaign for president in 2019, the New York Times reported that staff members at Democrat Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar had a ritual of saving potentially damaging emails from the lawmaker in the event they were ever needed as, quote, evidence of her conduct for their own reputational protection. Next quote. The same report said Klobuchar was, quote, known to throw office objects in frustration, including binders and phones, in the direction of aides. It said she required maternity leave recipients to pay back any time off should they resign from their positions. Next quote. It also said, former aides said they were especially troubled by her willingness to embarrass staff members over minor missteps or with odd requests. Like Katie Porter, Klobuchar has excused her appalling behavior by citing her, quote, high expectations. You simply do not hear stories like this from Republicans in Congress or the West Wing. Antisocial behavior is a Democrat thing. That's one source speaking to the Federalist. Gorgon number 4 today. And why are we doing this? Because this is not just a cherry-picked sampling of powerful women in public office. This is the common powerful woman in public office. In our era, for whatever reasons you like or don't like, politics and front-facing CEO positions, power positions, disproportionately attract bitches. Not bitches who get it done. I'm talking about cluster B bitches, actual full clinical narcissists and sociopaths. That is the kind of women that these positions attract. These are not outliers. They're not cherry picking. You can go down through all of them and you're going to find a surfeit of this bullshit. Gorgon, and for years, these kinds of women are talked up in children's books that are aimed at little girls. You know, you can be anything. These are the women put forward as their role models. Bitches. Exploitative, nasty, sometimes sociopathic bitches. It is incredible to me that this is what feminism believes. Feminism believes that in order for women to have success in life, that they must emulate men. And they believe that to emulate men is to emulate sociopath behavior. They believe that men as a sex are sociopathic. They're exploitative. They're rude. They're demanding. They're harsh. They're unreasonable. That's what they think being a man is. That's feminism. It's nothing but projection. So Gorgon number 4 is the late U.S. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee for 29 years from Texas. Here is some leaked audio between her and a staffer. You're going to have to listen a little carefully. It's not great quality.
You took a piece of paper from that woman regarding something that was over at Duncantail. Where is it? What date was it?
All from yesterday. Jerome took it upstairs. I have to call him. He took it up when I switched out the papers. I'll call him as soon as he gets here.
I don't want you to do a goddamn thing. I want you to have a fucking brain. I want you to have read it. I want you to say, Congresswoman, it was such and such date. That's what I want. That's the kind of staff that I want to have. So some stupid other motherfucker did it, and I don't have the information. Nobody sent me the information. I need to ensure my schedule. And, if boo-boo did it, shit-ass did it, fuckface did it, and nobody knows a goddamn thing in my office. Okay? Nothing. I gave it to you.
Why do people put up with this? Why do staffers put up with this? Well, I mean, you've got no choice. If you take a job and you find out this is your boss, you either stick it out or you leave. But why do people put up with this year after year after year? Why has this become common? Because they're under the cluster B spell that our entire society is under. I was under that spell with my mother. I defended my mother. I used to say things like, my mother is a saint, when friends would observe how awful she was to me. I defended her abuse of me. Normal people can't believe that people are really like this when they got caught up under someone like Sheila Jackson Lee or Kamala Harris. The need to see these women as empathetic women who care simply because their alleged policies line up with the person doing the evaluating, this can blind normal people to what they're really like. If they haven't seen, if they don't have a cluster B directly in their home or in their childhood, a lot of people may think that they themselves are just crazy, they're oversensitive. And they may question if they're secretly a, quote, misogynist or a racist for questioning the behavior of women like this. It reminds me, it reminds me of a scene from some of the best television that's been made in the past 15 years. The FX series from 2017, Feud, Betty and Joan, about the Hollywood rivalry between actresses Joan Crawford and Betty Davis. Joan Crawford, of course, who I've talked about many times on the show. She's an avatar for my mother.
Again, jiggity jog. We put you to bed.
I need a drink.
Don't you think you had enough to drink on the plane?
Hey, you are not my keeper. You're a servant. Don't ever forget that. Oh, I don't think I can do it anymore, Mamacita.
New Mexico this weekend, then the tour is done.
Oh, New Mexico? Jesus Christ! Why did I say yes to any of this?
Why did you?
No offers in 9 months. Huh? I had to take it just to keep the goddamn lights on.
Look, Miss Joan. Flowers.
Yeah? From whom?
Mr. George Kukor, congratulating you on your latest success.
My latest success, what a joke. He's 5 years older than me, and he's hotter than he's ever been. He's winning awards for My Fair Lady. I'm pimping myself out to William Castle.
The picture is doing very well. People are coming to see you.
People are coming to see blood and gore and heads being chopped off. They're not coming to see me, you stupid sloth! Oh, God. I'm sorry, Mamacita. I'm sorry. I am sorry!
You're always sorry. You're crazy. But you do it. I tell you now this. The next time you throw something at my head, I leave you. Then you will have nothing. Good night. Careful going up the stairs. You're a blotto.
Well, and later, Mamacita does, in fact, leave her, but most people don't. They stay for way too long. This week, we are welcoming a new sponsor to Disaffected. Homestead Bookkeeping owner Laura Marks is a friend of the show and a disaffectant just like you. Do you remember how exciting it was to become your own boss when you opened a business? And then it hit. Being your own boss also means being your own bookkeeper, bill payer, and payroll manager. Not as exciting. That's where Homestead Bookkeeping and Business Advisory comes in. Laura Marks at Homestead loves keeping your books and keeping them clean as much as you love your business. With Homestead Bookkeeping, you get QuickBooks professionals who will categorize and automate your monthly transactions. You're going to get a profit-first point of view with advice from Laura herself, tailored to turn your small business from a cash eater into a cash cow. And you're going to get regular check-ins to help you steer your business toward growth. Does that sound good? If you are ready to stop sweating the spreadsheets, go to homesteadbookkeeping.com and fill out just a short contact form to get your free consultation. Please don't wait until tax deadlines are keeping you up at night. Contact Homestead now so that your dollars will make sense. And come back after the break. We're going to have a school lesson for the young'uns and how to be a grown-up.
Multi-village voters. Okay, so you... I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. You're not going to do the interview with them? Nope, not like this. I'm not. I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you. And I don't want this all on camera. I would love to be able to ask you questions so that we can show our viewers whatever...
You know when you're hungry, how easy it is to reach over and grab a bag of chips or a candy bar or something like that, especially while you're working. I used to do that a lot, but what I grab now is a bag of this stuff you see on your screen, biltong. Biltong is South African style, thinly sliced, high quality meat cured with vinegar and spices. And it's not only better for you than eating a bunch of Pringles or potato chips or candy bars, but it's actually good for you. It's good quality protein. It's good quality fat. It's not going to crash your blood sugar, make your blood sugar go up, and then you're going to feel awful and empty afterwards. I have a bag of this stuff probably 5 days out of 7 when I'm sitting in front of my computer writing, and I would like you to try it too. It comes in all different levels of spice, different kinds of beef, venison, kangaroo if you're into exotic meat. Go on over to our sponsor, BiltongUSA.com, and check out their fabulous selection. I really think if you like anything in the neighborhood of beef jerky, this is so much better than that. You're absolutely going to love it. Remember to use promo code JOSH to get 10% off your order. So that's BiltongUSA.com, promo code JOSH. For the next, you don't need any promo codes. You just need to look at my calendar at joshuaslocum.net. I offer 1 hour coaching and consulting for anybody who wants to talk about issues having to do with fractured relationships, troublesome families, particularly cluster B style issues, interpersonal abuse. But I can also talk with you, as I've talked with many clients, about funeral planning, either for yourself or for a loved one. It's what I did for 20 years. And basically, if you sign up for an hour with me, you're going to get my undivided attention on the topics that are important to you. When we're talking one-on-one through my service, I'm there for you. You're not there for me. You're not my audience. I'm there to listen to you and talk to you. And I've been enjoying getting to know a lot of new clients lately and also some returning. So if I can be helpful to you, go to joshuaslocum.net and check it out. If you are a supporting member of Disaffected, meaning you subscribe and donate to us every month, you get a nice discount too. Hope to see you there. That was a really shitty way to end that. If you're not reading The Blaze online, you really should be. It's a great conservative news outlet. And hilariously, I'm writing for the men's lifestyle section called Align. Why hilariously? Because me, a superannuated homosexual, writing for the men's section of a magazine. Give them the clicks so they can keep hiring me and also other writers. There's a lot of great stuff over there. Here's a sample of what I have out this week. This is meant for anyone younger than 40, which ropes in most millennials and all of Gen Z and more. But since they won't listen to olds like me, maybe some of you good people out there can find a way to slip this into your kid's Ovaltine and get it to them some way. I suppose if I were smart and I wanted to market this well to that crowd, I'd call it a guide to adulting, but I'm not going to do that because using the non-word adulting is the kind of kiddie nonsense that young people should have stopped doing before they started doing it. You would think this set was raised in a joint custody arrangement between 2 Live crew and a band of Dickensian orphans. We're in an era of unprecedented infantilization. Chronological adults are grown-ups in years only. They have the minds of children. No, it's not just like it's always been. And I'm not saying the same things old people have always said every time, LMAO. There has never been a time in history before the millennial generation when helpless, unskilled, babyish behavior was tolerated in adults, let alone celebrated as it is today. The average 35-year-old in 2025 has the tastes, habits, and deportment of a 17-year-old from my youth. They bond over cartoon comic book superheroes. They giggle in the corporate office tower over Stanley brand water cups and clicky acrylic nails like girls used to do in the middle school bathroom. I've had enough, so let's get to it. 15 years ago, in another job, I hired 24-year-old Olga for a secretarial job. She was great and worked for us for many years. But I almost fired her on the first day. Why? Because she walked into the office wearing a belly-bearing crop top, a nose ring, and jeans slung so low that you would think she was modeling for a depilatory cream ad. I said, "This is not appropriate office wear. This is an outfit for the clubs." She looked at me with genuine shock. She'd never been told that before. Her mother had never told her that it wasn't cute to wear provocative clothing to the office because her mother was too busy trying to look her daughter's age. Yeah, I know. I met Mom. So I have a prescription for young ladies and young gentlemen. Ladies first. Number one, no exposed bellies ever under any circumstances. No excess cleavage either. No more than half an inch, if any, should be shown in office wear. Wipe off 75% of that makeup from your face and absolutely no false eyelashes in broad daylight. That's an evening look for women of questionable reputation. Pry off those acrylic claws and keep your nails no longer than what is standard for a French manicure. In fact, just do that. Just do the French manicure. And take that nose ring out. That one too. No, not just the one little stud. I said take all the nose rings out. Now, young gentlemen, listen up. There is to be no dyeing your hair. Nope, not for fun. Nope, not to cover gray. Dyed hair on a man gives the impression that he's unstable or untrustworthy. And do not sass me about this. Shave your face, or if you wear a beard, trim it neatly. You may not wear handlebar mustaches, and you may not sport a biblical patriarch 4-foot-long trailing vine. Honestly, you are not Grizzly Adams. You are not Noah. Wash your hair, and then comb it before you go outside. There is to be no long hair on gentlemen. No, a ponytail is not acceptable. A gentleman's hair should be short and neat. You can rock a buzz cut, you can rock a crew cut, you can rock a fade, you can rock a modified slick 50s pompadour, as I often do. But that's all you can do. Short and neat. Buy jeans and pants that sufficiently fit to remain above your butt crack, and for goodness sake, tuck your shirt in. No jewelry except a class ring or a wedding ring. No, you may not wear just one diamond stud in my ear. Do you want to look like a gentleman or a Brooklyn pimp from 1972? So, that's fashion and grooming sorted for the young set. Let's move on to speech and enunciation. If you've been alive for 50 years, you will notice how different America sounds today. You'll notice how immature and déclassé even newscasters sound now. As a young man, late teenager, early college years, my older friends mocked me for my sharp nasal upstate New York accent. It's very close to an upper Midwestern Michigan accent. Here's a sample of me speaking at 17 years old. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'll have a salad with ranch dressing. Because of that mockery, I deliberately cultivated a then normal newscaster from nowhere, flat American accent, the kind that all professionals of every race and background used to strive for in public life. And it served me well in a couple of ways. This, if on the absolute off chance that any young people who are like this are actually listening and paying attention to me, this will help you too. I'm not just saying this to be critical. I am actually hoping to help you. Why did I change my accent, and what did it do for me? First, my spoken voice no longer made me sound like what I was, which was a welfare kid from a semi-rural trailer park. Removing it, that removed any class-based preconceptions from the minds of people that I was being introduced to, and then eventually I might need to impress. And you can object to that reality all you want, but it won't change reality. It is reality, even if you don't like it. If you talk like you're down market, you will be perceived as down market. That's it. There's no discussion to have about this. Consider the widespread fashion among American young people to mimic low-class and particularly Black low-class pronunciation and mispronunciation. It sounds street. It sounds vulgar. It sounds uneducated. Many of them think that's positive, but it's not. Second, the other thing it did for me, and this is what it can do for you, since my aim was to communicate clearly and respectfully with my fellow adults, I no longer peppered my speech with up-to-the-minute sayings and obscure generational in-jokes. But today, Nearly everyone young, and too many older people I'm seeing this in too, they seem more focused on broadcasting how cool they are to their peers than they are in expressing their thoughts with precision or eloquence. So remove the following terms and phrases from your vocabulary. Adulting, gone. Not a good look, nope. Comfy, get rid of it. My journey, stop and never say that again. Lived experience, do better, and get rid of super as a replacement for very. In fact, drop as many varies as you can. Also, amend your incorrect and grating mispronunciations. I'm going to demonstrate and help. The worst feature of the modern American accent is it's the glottal stops that everyone under 40 is suddenly inserting into all kinds of words. If you don't, I'll do it for you as I demonstrate this. In all of the following that I'm going to pronounce for you, people are dropping the T sound. And sometimes it's a soft T, sometimes it's a hard T, but they're dropping the T sound completely and replacing it with a glottal stop. It's nails on a chalkboard. The only kids who spoke this way when I was young came from ignorant households, and they were the kind of kids who were 12 years old and were still saying Buschetti. All right, so it's like, can we put this up? Yeah. The word is not button, it's button. The word is not important, it's important, and it is never to be pronounced important. The word is not kitten, but kitten. And it's not mountain, it's mountain. Now, extra credit, stop dropping your G's. You are not swimmin', you're swimming. This doesn't sound authentic, it sounds stupid. A trip to any store these days will convince American adults of a certain age that remedial etiquette lessons are also necessary. A great many parents have not instructed their children in the most elementary forms of manners and standard interpersonal communication. So here is my prescription for young people. Number one, look people in the eye when they speak to you. Stop looking at your phone and stop looking at the floor. Do not perform, however, the Gen Z stare. Do not do that. If you're not mentally retarded, you are not allowed to goggle at people with a blank expression as if you didn't know how to respond to the greeting, hello, how are you? You do know how, so do it. When someone says, hi, how are you? You are obligated socially to respond to them. You have to respond. It's not optional. Otherwise, you're rude as hell. And it's so easy to do. Just mimic the form back to the person who greeted you. They say, hi, how are you? You say, hi there, I'm great, how are you? So easy. Just mimic, just return it. When you're placing a phone call, you all need this. And in fact, some of you in your 50s need this too. When you're placing a phone call, you, the caller, identify yourself first. It is intensely rude to call someone and ask for Josh without first saying, hi, this is Dave Smith from Smith Capital. I'm looking for Josh, please. Don't say, I hate this. I hate this. Answer the phone. Hello? Josh? Who the fuck are you? Maybe I'm not home to you. Maybe you're a business that I don't want to speak to. You intruded on my time by calling. You identify yourself first. I always identify myself first. And extra credit for you all, we're going to work on your pitch and your intonation too. It started with the Valley Girls of the 1980s, but now almost everyone, man and woman alike, is speaking in what I call gear shift tonality. And I've talked about this before. It's like a manual transmission on a car. The engine winds up higher and higher in pitch until you shift. Then you shift to the next gear and it drops back down and goes up. So it's like, this is how so many people speak. Even declarative sentences sound like a question. Oh, it drives me batty. Gear shift tonality is for manual transmissions, not human voice boxes. It's also known as upspeak. Stop with the upspeak. If you're asking a question, you can. It's sort of the opposite of the UK. The UK accent often goes down in pitch at the end of a question, but in America, we go up for questions, down or neutral for declarative statements. Okay? Not hard to follow. Anyone, and if this sounds foreign to you, young people, it's because you're solipsistic, you're wrapped up, you think that your generation is the only one that exists. It's not. Other people are listening to you. Anyone who's not in your age set finds this kind of speech annoying and kind of wearying. It makes you sound childlike, tentative, and unsure, or manipulative. Remember, Margaret Thatcher, former Prime Minister of the UK, took vocal lessons to lower her speaking register so that she would be taken seriously in world politics. There's a reason she did that. Now, that concludes today's instructions. Keisha and Valerie, you will stay behind and clean at the chalkboards to work off the demerit for chewing gum and open-mouthed too. All remaining pupils, you may close your desks and take your primers home. Class is dismissed. Now come back to close out the show with this week's drama of a very, very bad missing kitty who sent me into hysterics. We're going to feature an appearance by the actual perpetrator.
You're out of my fucking shop. You also were in my shop before that. Stay out of my shop. Okay, I'm going to start again with electric vehicle saving us money.
Welcome back. We would love to have your support. If you want to help us make this show, go to disaffectedpod.substack.com or to subscribestar.com/disaffected and sign up to become a monthly supporting member. You're going to get an invitation to our private members-only Discord chat server, and we're starting back up again this month. We took a month off. We're having our monthly meeting for supporting members. It's going to happen on the last Sunday of each month. We were doing Saturdays, but we're going to be doing Sundays now at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I will announce this on Substack and on Subscribestar. If you don't want to join as a supporting member, we also really appreciate one-off donations. Go to disaffected.com and click on support us. And I was going to say this last week, so and I forgot, I'm sorry about that. I don't want to use your whole name, but we have a very generous viewer named Chris. And Chris, you just gave us a really big donation, and you've given us several in the past before. And I sent you an email. I was so impressed and so grateful for it. I would love to talk to you. I hope you see this. Thank you very much. You are one of our most generous donors. And I would love to say hi to you on the phone sometime or on a video call. So now we've got somebody here today. You should be following us on X, because if you were following our handle at disaffectedpod on X/Twitter, you would have gotten some of this story already. Kitty, kitty, you want a treat? Yeah, we're going to talk about cats this segment. Oh, are you scared? Come here, Mina. Come here, baby Mina. Somebody, this little very good girl has been a very bad girl. Here. You can stay there. Want a treat? All right. I'm going to see if I can show you guys the cute things she does. Mina, do the thing. Do the thing. Mina, do the thing. Do the thing. Here you go. Oh, yeah. I'm so glad you're home, because you do the thing. That's right. Do the thing. Good girl. Come here, baby. You guys know that I'm a cat guy. I love all animals, including yours, even though I don't know them. Dogs are welcome at my house. Kevin's Silver Lab Vector is one of my favorites. If you've got a dog, a cat, a ferret, or a snake, I will love him and pet him and call him George. But I'm really a cat guy. Cats and me are made for each other. Since I was a small boy, they've always come to me. They've always seemed to trust me. So I've been speaking cat since I was about 3 years old. And that was the age when we lived in an actual cabin, no electricity, no running water cabin on a mountain in upstate New York. And one day I started eating a bowl of snack mix that my mom left out on the porch. And it turns out that it was not, in fact, Little Boy Snack Mix. It was Meow Mix. And oh my God, how my mother laughed. It tasted good to me. Oh, how many treats do you think you're entitled to? Are you going to come up here? You're going to have to work for these treats. Work for the audience. She won't. Cats. You can't do nothing with them. So my two feline roommates are, of course, Miss Mina, as you've met, and Shredder, the big white Tom. He's an 18-year-old. I adopted him when he was 9 years old and had been abandoned at the shelter, and he was in bite quarantine because he was bitey and all stressy. I adopted him in 2016. He's 18 now, and that was the year that my best girl, my tabby named Mink, the predecessor to Mina, she died after 17 years. That same year, my cat Sophie died, and my roommate's cat Twix died. So we lost all of our cats. Twix was hysterical. He was literally special needs. The cat was actually mentally retarded. He was the sweetest, dumbest thing you've ever seen. Here's Shredder in 2016. This is very shortly after I adopted him, and he was massively overweight. 22 pounds when I got him. We got him down to about 16 or 17 pounds. That was a really hard time for me personally, because while all this was going on with the cats, that was the final break with my mother in the eviction lawsuit when I finally put her out of my life. Are you coming back up here, kitty? Maybe. She's wandering around the bottom here. So Shredder came into the house first. And then my friend Matt came over with a little tiny kitten from a litter that the owners couldn't handle. And little baby Mina was separated too early from her mother. She was taken too soon. But since the taking had already happened, I decided to take her. And that, I think, was day 2 that you're seeing on the screen. She took to me immediately. And things worked out just the way I hoped. Shredder loved this kitten immediately, and he's acted like a big brother and her protector the whole time. I think we've got a picture of the two of them eating the first night that Mina was at the house. Do we have that, Kevin? Yeah, there they go. Great big Shredder with little Mina. Good girl. Bad girl, but good girl. And here we've got, I took one for you last night. Look how they love each other 9 years later. Let's show. They are just curled up into each other, co-grooming each other. It's the sweetest thing. They're best friends. Now, little Mina here is a scaredy cat. She loves me, and I think she's kind of imprinted on me. I actually think that she does see me as her mother or as a parental figure. She sleeps under the covers with me, and for years, she actually tried to nurse me. Yes, I let her because it was so goddamn sweet. I mean, did I let her? It's not like I expressed milk or anything. Mina here is afraid of most people, except for my dear friend Holly. And yes, this is Holly Math Nerd from Substack. Take a look at this collar, too, because this becomes important in this story. When Holly comes over, Mina comes running, and that's highly unusual. I'm the only person she trusts that much except for Holly. And Mina is the only, or Holly is the only other human that Mina will walk over to on a piece of furniture and crawl on her and say, touch me and pet me. Thank God for Holly this week, because she babysat me through toddler level hysterics when Mina went missing for 2.5 days. All right, that's enough. We'll give you some more treats later. I was, she's back here. Okay, this is going to be every show from now on, because now I have let the cat think that that this is an acceptable way to behave. What did I tell you about those wire hangers? All right, here we're going to do. I will give you one. Oh my God! Get over here. Kitty, 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 kitty. Eat up. All right. So here's what happened. Monday night, I was grilling steaks outdoors on the charcoal grill, and I left the front door open because I kept coming back and forth, flipping meat and stuff. Mina has always been afraid of the outdoors. She will put one paw on the porch floor and then come back in. She's terrified. She won't even follow Shredder out. Shredder's been an indoor-outdoor cat his whole life. He's old now, and so he stays closer to home. But he used to go on walkabout. He'd be gone for a day. He loved to hunt. He got into fights. He was the big bruiser in the neighborhood. I never worry about Shredder when he's outside. But Mina would never even join him out there. The next day, Tuesday, I realized in the late afternoon that I hadn't seen Mina the entire day, which is highly, she didn't come out to eat. She didn't use the litter box. She was gone. She'd obviously been gone since the night before. And this little cat has been missing several times before. And she's so timid that she will hide under a porch on the side of the house completely silently, and she won't respond to me when I call her. She won't mew, even if I'm sitting there and walking by. If she doesn't want me to see her, I'm not going to see her. At my last house, before I moved out here, she hid under the front porch completely silently for 24 hours until my friend Matt came over at night with a flashlight and actually found her. So by this past Wednesday morning, I was frantic. Holly came over and helped me laminate missing kitty posters. I stapled them up on trees and utility poles all up and down the road, dropped them off at the Humane Society, the local veterinary hospital. We posted on online forums, talked to the neighbors, and nothing. When Holly was over, we took big high-powered flashlights and tromped through my property. I've got 3 acres on a country road, and a lot of it is like 5-6 foot tall, high vegetation and scrub. So you're never going to find an animal who wants to get lost in there. But Holly could not have been a better friend to me when I was at my worst. I love these animals so much because I'm responsible for them. I mean, they're not only companions, but they rely on humans. And when they go, I've created a monster. All right, we're going to try to get through it this way. I had a bunch of things I wanted to tell you. You just broke my borderline glasses, Mina. So at any rate, we came over, we looked for everything. Wednesday night, I ended up putting myself to sleep with a tranquilizer. And I left the door open all night and damned the cold, hoping that, she might come back. At 6:30 in the morning, Shredder comes into there. Do you hear her tearing into this bag? All right. That's the only time you'll ever see her run. Shredder woke me up, as he usually does, asking for his food and his breakfast. Kitty, you can't have everything, okay? So it's squirt bottle time now. Go. I gave you the whole bag of treats. Go get the treats. Go, 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 go. Shredder wanted his breakfast, so he's meowing at me as he usually does, and I get up and I'm stumbling to the kitchen because I'm upset. I've been crying. My cat is missing. I'm walking through the hallway, and I look down, and after 2.5 days, Mina is just walking alongside me in the hallway with her tail in the air like nothing happened. I cannot describe to you how happy I was. So I took this video a few minutes after she came back. This is the little booger snot who has kept me in anxiety and tears for 3 days, being missing, who just walked into the house this morning like nothing was wrong. Just a little baby kitty. Doesn't care how she tortures her human. I love her. Look at her make biscuits. All right. So she's never going to get lost again. And why do I know that? Well, because Holly and our mutual friend, who you may know online as Dr. Rollergator, recommended a GPS tracking collar that shows you exactly where Kitty is at all times. Let's show him your collar. You see it here? the Tractive Cat Mini Collar. It's a collar with a little GPS tracker on it, and Ma Kitty is wearing it right now, and this thing is absolutely fantastic. Despite not having a mother, I suspect, and not being taught, how to be a cat, basically, I kind of suspect that Mina didn't actually get lost. I think she might actually have gone on walkabout on the property. But we've tested this collar out. You get an app on your phone, obviously. It uses both GPS tracking, so when they're outside the perimeter of your home, basically about 20 feet around your home and your Wi-Fi signal, when they're outside of that, it uses GPS tracking, and it'll give you a map, and you can watch where your cat goes, where her territory is. We tested it out. It works great. But when they're inside, because that uses a lot of battery, it just goes on Bluetooth. So you can take your phone and point it in a direction. It has something called radar mode, and it gives you little crosshairs and like a pulsing. It's like a sonar ping. Boom, boom. And I find this little kitty wherever she is. So I'm feeling much better about that. If you have any concerns about keeping track of your dog or your cat, I've only had it a few days, but I really like this. Now, they are not paying me. This is not a paid endorsement, but Tractive GPS Collar, I love your product so much. I would love to have you as an advertiser on the show. And believe me, I will personally sell the hell out of it because Mina and I are satisfied customers. That's the show. Thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you all next week.